Oh no, it's got diarrhea. This thing's been sitting about a month and it shit itself all over my shed floor. All right, so the next question is to figure out where this leak's coming from. And that's gonna determine whether I can save this thing or chuck it and buy a new one. Believe it or not, this oil leak, I got the same thing happening to that thing too, but not nearly as bad. All right, so you saw the size of that little gas-powered motor. That thing's like a lawnmower engine. And that's pretty much all of its oil. Now, the Porsche hasn't done anything yet. So that little gas engine left all that oil. That's pretty much all of it. So I got a big problem in this thing. Now, that car hasn't left any oil on the ground, but about a month ago I had it up on a lift and I could see the engine was caked in oil. Yep, it's a go-kart engine. Or is it a lawnmower engine? It's a lawnmower engine like this. It's a go-kart engine like that. That's the only difference. You pull start here on the side, on the top if it's a lawnmower, and then it drives the wheel if it's a go-kart, or it drives the blades if it's a lawnmower. Alright, so I think I already kind of know what the problem is based on where I see oil and where I do not. Alright, this thing is a single piston engine. See the piston here? This thing here is the exhaust. And this is the crankcase where the piston relies on going up and down. Drives the chain. This is the gas tank. So I got this big paper seal here right along the crankcase. So when this engine's running, all that oil's splashing around in here, keeping everything cool. So if I had a leak, I'm not going to see it on the top, I'm going to see it on the bottom of the engine. That's the first place to look. So that seal looks pretty good for the most part. But when I get to where the motor mounts to the go-kart, there's a little drain plug right there. I see it. Guess what? Not even tight, man. So that little plug right there got loose and drained all the oil out. So guess what I just figured out how to do? An oil change on a go-kart. Look at that, drain oil. Now, I just got to figure out how much more to put back in there. So the real culprit here is that washer. That washer has caused this leak. And I got a feeling there's the same problem with this car. The only real difference between the go-kart and this thing with those drain plugs, this has more. It's got drain plugs for all of these sensors and all this other bullshit. All right, so now that I look a little closer at this thing, I don't think it was ever tightened because I don't have a socket that fits it. So I've tried all of these sockets, so I know that I have them all, but this is just some bastard bolt. So you see when I go to tighten it, my hand just slips. This thing's never been tightened. I got to torque this thing to some kind of torque to crush that washer. So the only way to really do this correctly is to take it off the go-kart and turn this engine on its back, but I'm lazy. So real easy, right? Just tighten up the plug. I think this is the same problem with this car. I just got to get underneath it. All right, so I put about a half a quart in there, so I'm hoping this dipstick is dripping. Yep, it's dripping. We're good.